Hello, it's okay not to know. Oh, I'm just adjusting my camera a little bit for you. Yeah, I want to say it's okay not to know. A slightly red eye according to this camera. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, you didn't want to see me streaming to you live on LinkedIn, looking at my eye. You didn't want to see me streaming to you live on YouTube at Jenny Kovacs, as written and spelt there. And you certainly didn't want to see me coming to you as the Queen of Being Seen, doing that and looking. Now, I'm quite excited because I'm about to teach the second part, so part 2 of Leverage Your Live Stream, called Go Live, Leverage Your Live Stream, because so many people struggle with knowing how to position themselves online, and especially or specifically through live stream. I hear 3 different types of conversation. Jenny, I can speak to audiences of thousands, but put a camera in front of me, I can't do it. Jenny, I'm much better at recording a video and then putting it out there than going live. I find when I'm live and people are commenting, I find it distracting. Or on the flip side, I can go live. I've spent years being a professional presenter, actor, journalist is normally who I hear from. And I'm used to working with scripts. So the thought of doing a video, static video, feels a bit kind of strange to me. And I kind of want to say it's okay not to know. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I woke up this morning, I intended to do this live at 10 o'clock. And I also had a meeting booked in at 10, and I wasn't sure whether it was going to go ahead or not. So I decided to stream to you live at 2 p.m. UK time. So if you're watching this on the replay, still come and say hi. It's interesting. I've had a few people talk about these lives, talk about these videos, and tell me how much they've enjoyed them, and they've never commented. That's okay. It's just good to know on that feedback loop, because it's good to know what to talk about. So today, I had a lot of ideas roaming around my head. Now, if this is the first time you're catching any one of these live streams, I committed, not even for the first time, for the second time, to do a whole year of consistent lives or videos. And by that, it means every single day of the year. And I'm just on day 14 today, so I'm only 2 weeks in. And I say I committed to do it. And here's the thing, I've done this before. And you would think that having done something before, and I did every single day, nearly missed one just because I forgot, believe it or not. But you think that having done something before makes it better for you to do it the next time. And I don't necessarily agree with that. For some of us, it can add a certain amount of pressure. For others, it can mean our perfectionism kicks in. We want everything to be perfect because we want it to be better than last time or something else. So this morning when I woke up, I had a couple of ideas on my mind to speak about today. I wanted to talk about speaker speed, and when people show up on video or they're speaking and the myths around it. But I'm not going to do that one today because I kind of fell into what would be useful, and that wasn't the one. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, or was thinking of talking about, was how we feel in any given moment. I had a little slap round the head this morning, metaphorically, and it threw me off for about 30 minutes, and then I kind of got back on track. So I wrote about that. I articulated it better at that point by writing about the roller coaster. So I think what I'm going to speak to you about today is something that I've spoken to a few people about over the last, I would say, week or so. And it's this notion of being caught in a corner. You know, sometimes when you think, I don't know what to do, like, I really don't know what to do. And you might have even found yourself saying, I have no choice. That's normally how it feels. I have no choice. I have to do this thing. I wanted to speak to that because honestly, there's been so many different examples. And I'm obviously not going to break confidences and share specific examples. But what I do want to do is share a little tool, a little technique, a little something that somebody shared with me that I know has been very useful, not just for me, but for clients that I've worked with over the years, and may be useful for you because that feeling of being stuck isn't a great feeling. So, forgive the train noise. It's quite warm here today, even though it's a bit grey at the moment. The windows are open. My thing keeps drooping downwards. I don't know why. My little stand, bless it. Um, the windows are open, so you might hear distant noises of trains, roads, ducks, geese, typing, or anything else in between. So, when I pressed go, stream live on this video, I wasn't too sure what I was going to speak about, I'll be honest. And given that I know that I've got this 365-day marathon, it kind of gives me the choice to speak about anything I want to. So as I come to you, as I speak to you, I just kind of like, as I pressed record, I just started to think of the many different conversations that I've had with people, and this felt like in my bones, like the best thing to speak to you about. Now, what I was supposed to be doing is talking about leverage your live stream, which I'll probably talk about over the next 3 days or so, a little trilogy for you. Because as I say, I'm in the middle of delivering that. Day 2 is today, and you can either join it live, so you get the benefit of asking me questions live and in real time. And also, one thing from a visibility perspective that people don't think about, when you're in a program and you get to join live, ask the person live, and they're recording it, and it becomes a legacy program, your brand, your name, what you do goes out there into the ethers. And it's interesting to me because there's very many people that over the years I've met in the flesh. And I remember a couple of people in particular, I had bought someone's program and listened back to all the lessons, and they were part of the program and they were recorded, and then I actually got to meet them. So by the time I met them, I felt like I knew them a bit better. I attended their events, I have worked with them personally, I read the book that they ended up writing. It's a really great way to be able to connect with like-minded people. So I was supposed to be talking about that today, but actually, if you tune in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I hope that you're not watching this in like 6 weeks' time, because you'll have to go back and find them. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll talk a bit about some of the nuggets and things that you can do when you are leveraging your live streams, because people think about them just as Facebook Lives, just as live streaming to YouTube, just as live streaming to LinkedIn, but they forget about things like Zoom meetings, team meetings, webinars, masterclasses, interviews, podcasts, Alice Stephen Bartlett, they forget about all of those things too. And there's some slightly different nuances and things that you can use for that, as well as elevating your own profile, raising your profile without being a bit of a douchebag. So here's what I want to say about not knowing what to say, and specifically not knowing what to do. If you've ever felt caught between a rock and a hard place and felt like I have to do this thing because it's the only thing that's available to me, like I have to do it, I have no choice, let those words, rather than kind of turn around your head and beat you up for saying the quote unquote wrong thing, let them be a sign to remember this message that I'm about to share with you. And it's the message of something that a very wise person that I respect, like massively, many years ago shared with me, and I'm going to share it with you. I felt like there was something I had to do and I had no choice. So the first thing, that's a bit of a myth. We always have choice, but sometimes the choice that we could make is difficult, painful, embarrassing, feels shameful, brings up guilt wherever we feel stuck. Because if the choice was to be given, I don't know, something that you absolutely love, meet somebody famous that you love, Taylor Swift is flavour of the month at the moment, or go and have or do or be something that you love, you wouldn't feel like you were stuck. So the choice, or the choice that we feel we have to make, normally there's a myth, it's not one choice. And they said to me, one choice is no choice, two choices is a dilemma, and three choices, now you've got options. And when a person feels like they've got options and they feel like they have got choices, It literally feels like the world is your lobster, quite literally. So how do you get to that place? So in order to do this, I'm going to have to ask you to do a bit of work. You don't have to type in the box or share anything with the world unless you really want to. Think of a situation or a scenario or something that you need to make a decision on where you literally feel like, I have no choice. I have to do this because. Like, think of that thing. Yes, the thing that just came into your head and you've gone, oh, no, I'm going to look for something else. That's probably a good place to start, by the way, just saying. So think of that thing. And now think of why you feel you have no choice, i.e., why you have one choice. And do this for yourself. Write it down somewhere, type it down on your phone if you have to. Just somewhere that you can look back and read it and see it for yourself. So, thinking about that one thing, write down why you feel like you've got just the one choice, and it might be what that one choice is. Now, the second thing is if you put something else into the mix and you've now got the choice that you felt you had no choice with and something else to do, what you're going to find is you're now going to feel like you've got a dilemma. Oh, should I do this thing or this thing? This is where you start to get your pros and cons list out. This is where you start to feel indecisive. This is where you might start to go, I don't want to do this right now. I'm going to throw it away and I'm going to come back to it a lot later on. But you will feel like, oh, it's this thing or it's that thing, and you'll be kind of swinging between the two. Now, the place to get to is to have options open up for you. And the only ways, because there's more than one, that you can do that is to be curious, like wonder what could happen if there were other choices for you to make. Start from there, because that's an easier step. I wonder what would happen if there were a couple of other things I could do as well. And when you do that, it's like you flex your curiosity muscle and you bring in other options that you likely hadn't thought of yet. Okay. So once you've flexed that curiosity muscle and thought of other things, the other route or the other path or the other way to get to a creative, like, or creating other options is what I call the magic wand question. Now, if you are a coach, or even if you don't identify as a coach, you're a mentor and you work with people one-to-one, maybe you're a business strategist, maybe you're a consultant, what you will likely do is have asked your client or clients this question at some point in the past. I call it the magic wand question because I think it's a bit fun and a bit playful. But I'll say to you, I'll use a candy cane instead of a magic wand that I just happen to have here. These are still from Christmas, so I don't think there's any chance that they're going to get eaten, but they're going to sit over there. So if I gave you a magic wand and you knew that whatever you did next would not go wrong, would not fail, you could literally like, poof, oh my gosh, I can't do that because I'll be rubbish at it. But your magic wand, you're like, poof, oh my gosh, I can do it. Old school reference, Bewitched. Young school people, go and look it up on YouTube. But there was a program called Bewitched where Samantha used to twizzle her nose like that. And when she did that, she would make magic stuff happen. So think about your own magic wand. Imagine that you've got your own slightly strange pink and red twisted, so you can see it, magic wand, and you could go poof, and whatever you were about to do would be amazing, would be magical, would be just perfect, would be just right for you. If that feels like a stretch too far and you're not a Harry Potter fan and you can't kind of put your Harry Potter hat on, then just think about if the thing that you did, you knew it would not fail, it wouldn't go wrong, what would be happening? And indulge yourself. And I would say for this, actually write it down. Again, this is not to show people, not to be Instagrammable or tweetable or Xable or anything else like that. But just think about, what could be possible if, you allowed it to. And what happens is that scenario that you originally felt boxed into a corner, you will have options. And here's the thing that I really want you to do. I really want you to allow yourself to explore those options, as in write them down, look at them, see them so that you've got them. Because remember, one choice is no choice, two choices is a dilemma, and three choices, now you've got options. And when you have options, it gives you a certain freedom of mind to be able to put things out there. And in some respects, because I've been talking about this for so long, helping people with this for so long, it's kind of what I did here. Oh my gosh, what I'm going to talk about. I could have come up here and said, hi everyone, I need to talk about something today and I don't know what I'm going to talk about, so bye. I could have done that. But actually, thankfully, because I'm extroverted, I can talk, think, or speak, think, speak, and work it out. So within a few minutes of starting this live, I was like, I could talk about this, I could talk about that. I know what I'm going to do. So I literally leapt into creating options, and you will too. Now, this was so magical for me and so many people that I've shared it with over the years, because when we feel like we're backed into a corner, feel like we have no choice, it's like the worst feeling in the world. And even worse if we're watching somebody close to us or somebody that we love who is in this scenario as well. So if you're watching this and you're like, life is great, life is good, I'm okay, thank you very much, but you know of somebody who's really going through the mill right now, don't be a smart ass. Go and speak to them, find out what's going on for them, find out where they feel backed into a corner, and start to help them open up a few options as well. It's one of the most rewarding things we can give another human being. Now, I hope this has been helpful. And if you're one of the many people who tell me that you watch these and you lurk, thank you for liking these. And thank you for sharing these if you've been sharing them with people. But thank you for spending your time and focus on these. I always think to myself, if I'm going to do one of these every day, I just want it to be 6 or 7 minutes. But I speak until it feels complete and it feels done. Now, if 17 minutes, and this is going to probably take to 18, but if 17 minutes feels too long, you probably watch soap operas that are longer than that with all the adverts. You probably sit through 18 minutes of this in a cinema. And I'm willing to bet that you go on to Netflix or Prime and you binge watch a whole series of Bridgerton or a whole series of something else. Seinfeld's quite good. So if you have, if you don't want to feel backed into a corner, allow yourself some time. What is 20 minutes in the space of a 24-hour period? Just for you, just to release you from feeling backed into a corner and to give you the freedom to make the choices that you actually want to. That's it. I'm Jenny Kovacs, as you can see for there. I'm the queen of being seen, because your being visible, your being seen is my passion. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.